Hello, I'm Dr. Greg Winteregg, CEO of the Private Dentist Alliance. I want to talk to all of you students out there today who are wondering what your future is going to be like as a career in dentistry. As an assistant, as a hygienist, as a dentist, where is this profession going with the rapid increase of the DSO movement? I'm here to tell you that PDA is going to help you, and I want you to become a member today. It is free. Now, why should you become a member? You're going to get weekly video updates from me, and you're going to get regular updates of our newsletters from the Alliance on exactly what is happening and how we are going to help preserve and protect the private practice of dentistry. Now, to me, the most important advantage is you are going to get access to our job board. What is that? Our private practicing members all have access to our PDA job board, which means if they have an opening in their private practice of assistant, hygienist, doctor, front office staff, they're going to be able to post it. And you're going to be able to check up regularly. And as our membership grows, we're going to be covering larger and larger territories across the United States. If you are looking for a job in any position in the office of a private practice, you need to become a student member today. It is free. Go to www.privatedental.org and become a student member today. You're going to love your benefits. Do it now.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Matt Havis back at it with the Dental Student Vibes podcast. Today we have a really cool interview for you. We have the Veneer goddess herself, Dr. Jocelynn Vida. She's an awesome cosmetic dentist based in California. She owns her own practice. She's killing the game on Instagram. She has 134,000 followers. She's putting out some awesome cosmetic content. You get to see the process of veneers. She is truly putting out some really intellectual material, high yield stuff. I really enjoy looking at it. I would advise you guys to go check her out on Instagram. But today we sit down with her to discuss all things dental school, anything about struggles, triumphs, how to really succeed in private practice, all things about high yield dentistry, things we want to know to make us the top 1%. So tune in, check it out, let us know what you guys think. And as always, follow us on Instagram at dental.student.vibes. Make sure you guys give us a like, comment, review. Let us know what we can do to make this the best podcast we can for you. We love doing that for you. We're trying to kill the game. We want you guys to be the top 1%. So let's accomplish this together. And as always, stay safe and vibe on.
Welcome back to another episode of the Dental Student Vibes podcast. I'm Seth Kalish, here today with Cole Herzik, Matt Havis, and the very, very special Dr. Jocelynn Vida. Dr. Vida, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I'm actually really excited because this is my first podcast and the name has vibes in it. And I'm like really all about the vibes. Like it would make sense we would align in this way. Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm happy.
Good vibes only over here.
I know. It's all about
Dr. Vida has 134,000 followers on Instagram. You can find her at Dr. Jocelynn Vida, and that's DorJocelynNVida. So Dr. Vida, you've been just exploding on Instagram. You've become such an influencer, but we want to talk to you today about how this all started and how you got to where you are now.
Okay.
So Dr. Vida, can you give us a little background? Let's bring it way back.
Let's go back.
School.
Remind me of the good old days.
Yeah. So Dr. Vida, where did you go to school?
Yeah, all right. So I'll just go way back. So I was born in LA, Mexican parents, and then I moved to Las Vegas when I was 2. From there, I went to Pepperdine in Malibu and got the Southern California itch. I thought the future is me being in like LA by the beach, so I have to move there. And then I got into a few schools on the East Coast and USC, and ended up going to UNLV back in Vegas, which was the best decision ever. It was a new school at the time, like 10 years old. All the new technology, and we had a lot of like one-on-one mentorship. Like we had a lot of professors, a lot of guidance, and it was nice to be living at home again and just not have to worry about my dinner and all those little things. So that was great. And then I graduated in 2014, and purposely only got my California license because I was going to tell my parents I have to move to California. And so when the license came in, I did that, and I ended up in Long Beach, which is south of LA, and started working in East LA, which is a primarily like Hispanic neighborhood. And I remember in 6 months working there at a corporate office, I only had 2 English-speaking patients. And so because I speak Spanish, I felt like I had to be there, almost like to be on their side and protect them and stuff like that. We could talk about corporate dentistry later, but I ended up there and then worked as an associate in a couple other places, and then ended up where I am now with my own practice. So
That's awesome.
My story.
Great journey over there on the West Coast.
West Coast, it's fun. You guys come often? Have you been?
Hopefully soon. I mean, we talked to, are you familiar with Dr. Bill Dorfman?
I actually visited him last year. I wanted to go see what it was all about, you know? So I went as a 6-year out dentist, and I watched him all day one time. Yeah.
Bill is the coolest man. I mean, the fact that he's, 62 now, and when I met him, I said, this guy's in his 40s. You can't lie to me. That he looks phenomenal. He's living his best life, and he's happy with what he does every single day, and I love that. He's got the right, we talked all about vibes and energy, and we love that. And he's all about all that positivity, so.
You have visited him already, or you're going to?
He extended an invitation, but with COVID and everything, it's kind of been difficult to get over there. So when everything clears up, hopefully soon, we'd love to get on over there.
And then you guys are going to come visit me.
Of
course. Exactly.
Okay? Everyone's so different. Huh?
We're going to take our tour around California there.
Yeah, definitely. I'll give you guys a list.
As we go down all the monuments, we're just going to see your office. We'll do Dr. Dorfman's. And
yeah. I'll let some friends of mine know that you're coming so you can get like more of an experience, because I feel like it's so important to see different real world offices, private practices, and pick up like little trinkets from each one, because everyone has a way of doing things and you can like learn so much, you know. So that's the kind of why I still shadow. I still shadow to this day because I like to see like, what am I missing? What can I learn? Like I just got back from seeing Dr. Billy Graves. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
So I just visited him last month in Texas and spent 3 days there, like in the OR, and it was just great because I picked up like tips on dragon dictation, just like real world things that would really help my office too and my patients. So
yeah, he's really into the social media game as well, because I know I've seen him on TikTok, on Instagram, and
yeah, we just got done doing a couple TikTok
on social media, so that's awesome.
I missed that last part. Sorry. What?
No, it's awesome because you normally don't see all of that oral surgery type stuff on TikTok or Instagram, so that's really neat.
Yeah, definitely.
But hold on, guys. We do have Dr. Billy Graves. We also have Dr. Vida, and she's killing the game. All the veneer stuff and everything. That's where I learned a lot of the cosmetic stuff is between you and Dr. Appa, honestly.
Right? No way.
Honestly.
You mentioned me with Dr. Appa.
Yeah, in the same sentence, yeah.
You know what? That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. That's my goal. I want to be like the next generation female Dr. Sam Soleil, Dr. Appa, really look up to them just because they have this personality and like a perfectionism. It's just like an eye for detail and just the whole experience. Like you can tell that they are like the part of their experience, like part of getting their veneers and everything. So that's my goal actually, to like shadow them. But
so you haven't been to his LA office yet?
No, I haven't.
That's because I don't know, how often does he go over to LA? I know he's always in New York. He goes to Dubai. Does he go to LA a lot?
Apparently every other week or something, but I've been kind of busy the last few years starting my office, and so I haven't really reached out too much. I'm just trying to get myself all organized so that I have a better flow, but I think I'm going to start going to Dubai too with Dr. Graves, so
Really?
so that's coming next. Huh?
Rivals become your rivals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rivals? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well,
Idols become.
No way. It's funny. I was actually thinking that maybe you guys would mention something like that. And yeah, so something that has helped me so much is you have to change your mindset on this. You cannot think of rivals. You cannot think of competition. There's so many people and everyone has teeth, and there's not enough of us. And so there will never not be enough patients. So like when I decided to start a private office from scratch, 0 patients 2 years ago in Orange County in a shopping center with like 5 other offices, everyone was like, there's no way, there's going to be too much competition, but like you cannot be in that mindset. You have to always think of abundance and just think that like the perfect patients are going to choose you over you over you. Like there's going to be enough for everyone. So yeah.
All right. Mindset. You got it.
And then something that is super important is when you leave dental school, you're all going to feel a little isolated because suddenly you're the boss, you're everything in your office. You run the whole entire show, you own it, you're the CEO, the president, the office manager, the surgeon, everything. And so you need to make sure that you make these friendships that continue, and thanks to social media, I feel like we're able to do that now, and like know other doctors, and like make sure that we are on the same side, like, and help each other out, because together we're changing how people perceive dentistry. Like I feel like this is the first time where suddenly being a dentist is cool, you know. It is. I think so. I mean, before COVID, I was excited to dress up and look cool and like be stylish and fashionable. Now, not anymore. But like, you know, 20 years ago, people didn't like the dentist, and now because of social media and our personalities and everything, like that's starting to show. And like I feel like it's suddenly a really well-rounded profession. Like it's an entrepreneurship, really.
right. You know, it's so funny you say that because recently I was at the supermarket. I don't know, I was picking something up, and I had my scrubs on. It said dental medicine on there. And this old white guy, he was dressed in a suit, and he was an old physician, and he was probably just on his last leg about to retire. And he goes, what are you in dental school for? Did you not have the grades to get into med school? I was like, no, I picked this profession. This was my first choice. And I'm like insulted by it. He goes, oh, years ago, if you couldn't cut it for medicine, you went to dentistry. I'm like, wow, that hurt. I told him,
Things have changed.
yeah,
It's harder to get into dental medicine now than medicine.
Exactly. It's funny Matt says that because I was just having a conversation with another oral surgeon, and he goes, if you look at the stats, medicine, the enrollment is going down, and dentistry is going up. Dentistry is increasing by a couple thousand each year that apply. Medicine is going down by a couple thousand. So now it's funny how, like, just like you were saying, the trend now is that dentistry is the cool thing to do. Dentistry is popular. Dentistry is on social media. People are talking about it. Because, I mean, who doesn't want a beautiful, white, clean, bright smile? I mean, that's the first thing you notice. You know that. Everyone knows that. That's the first thing you notice about someone. So yeah. That's super popular.
And it changes. It has such a strong impact. So this is like another thing why I love cosmetics. It has such a strong impact on the direction of people's lives. It literally, if someone has that confidence, like all their walls fall down, and suddenly where they end up in life might be a completely different place 10 years down the road than if they were, you know, like embarrassed every single day to smile. And so I feel like now we're able to show those transformations. And yeah, it's the patient I had this morning was talking about how it was the new boob job. You know, like 20 years ago, everyone wanted boobs. Now everyone wants a perfect smile. And so I think that you guys are entering into like an amazing field at the right time. And like, I'm happy that I'm in it right now. Yeah, definitely. But it's hard. It's so hard.
It's funny you say that because growing up or whatever, I was always meticulous. I could tell you have that same mentality where you can look at something and you just pick it apart to a level where somebody else doesn't. And I always tell myself, if I went to medicine, I'm doing plastic surgery. If I went to dentistry, I want to do cosmetics, veneers, like porcelain crowns, everything to make somebody look pretty and give them that smile that they want, what they desire. And it's funny that you mentioned that, where everyone wanted boobs. It was like I was ready to give somebody boobs, and now I'm ready to give somebody veneers. You know what I'm saying?
We have a lot in common. I wanted to go into plastic surgery, and then in my third year of college, I just switched real quick because I shadowed a plastic surgeon, an oral surgeon, and a cosmetic dentist. And I was kind of bored with the oral surgeon, assisting during nose jobs and boob jobs and stuff. And then with the oral surgeon, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then with the veneers, I was like, oh, I have an eye for art, and it is art. But yeah, I feel like a lot of dentists, especially not in our generation, I'm going to consider myself your generation. I'm 33. I don't know how old you guys are, but
Yeah.
A lot of the older dentists are afraid of doing cosmetic dentistry. It's intimidating. But I think that for us, like that's where the fun is, definitely. And with perfectionism, the scary thing is that you're gonna have to let go of that, because even though you have to have that eye, you have to know when to stop yourself. Otherwise, you're gonna beat yourself up so much because you can never get it right, like not perfectly. And then through practice and experience, just learn. But if I wanted it perfect, I'd still be there polishing right now those temporaries. I would.
So funny. Because I'm like, people are afraid to say the hardest thing is like doing a single number 9 crown. I'm like, great, let's do this. I hope somebody needs that. I want the challenge and I'm up for it. And I'll crown both. Like I don't want the struggle trying to match and everything.
Yeah.
I look forward to that challenge.
We're very similar.
Okay, you guys go to Dr. Bill.
Yeah, we're going to go.
You guys are okay.
No, but Dr. Vida, so you talked about how your office is actually in a shopping mall, as opposed to kind of like a standalone office somewhere. So what was kind of your driving force behind putting yourself, in a strip center versus because I come from a family where my grandfather and my aunt, they both set up shop in an office space, in a busy shopping mall with the Publix and with, all these other different venues. My grandfather's philosophy was, this is where the foot traffic is. If people are going to see my billboard and see my sign, it's when they're on the way to the grocery store, getting ready to eat and thinking, oh, wait, I've got this pain. I need somebody to go take a look at it. So was that kind of your philosophy, or, what was the mindset there?
Okay, it's really, it didn't happen how you think it happened. So my life is really guided intuitively. I think that has a lot to do with like luck too, like to listen to your gut feeling, like on everything you do, and to also believe that somehow like your dreams are going to come true, even though you have no idea how. And don't worry about the how, just let it be. So my mother actually passed away 3 years ago, and I was an associate at the time, and so I just buried myself in work. But I had been talking to a periodontist that came in once in a while to do our implants about starting our own office for like 2 years. And 7 months passed after she had passed away, and her birthday rolls around, and the periodontist and I go to lunch because he happened to be at the office that day, and he tells me, I found an office space, and it was on my mom's birthday. And so he's like, I found an office space. Do you want to go in 50-50 and do this? And I was like, oh my God, it's a sign from my mother. Like, thank you, Mom. Like, you're always guiding me. I have to take this as a sign. So I said yes. I didn't have any money. I had like $24,000. I had no idea what I was doing, nothing. And I just said yes. And we went to go look at the space. And it was in the shopping center, in the middle between a Big Lots, a Carl's Jr., Puerto Loco, and a CVS, basically. And it was already built out as an office from like the late 80s with blue carpet, like green walls, just, run down. But the chairs were there, and it was 5 ops, and even TVs were there with like monitors and everything. And so the doctor did so well that he just saved his money for 5 years. He came on as a young associate like you guys with these older guys that were retiring. And he bought the practice and all the patients and built out like an amazing office down the road. And he kept paying the rent for like 9 months on this thing because he was too busy. Like he just didn't even list it. And so the next week, the periodontist says, I don't want to take on this responsibility. You can have it on your own. And I said, sure. So I called the doctor, took him to lunch. I said, what do you want for all this stuff in there? And he's like, you can have it. Chairs, everything. And so I literally automatically saved probably like $150,000 on plumbing and built out and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to take over the lease. And I took over the lease and then quit my job and was like, okay, what do I do now? And I was like, well, rip out the carpet. Like, I'm just going to start doing all the paperwork throughout the day. And that's going to take time to build an office, but I'm going to use that little money and start remodeling it. So that's how it happened. I didn't look at stats. I didn't look at population. I was just like, people are going to come to me. And I have a lot of patients that I had a virtual consult this morning from a guy in Philadelphia. So he has an appointment now on Monday. So like, I just thought, I'm not going to be the average dentist sending out flyers to the neighborhood. Like, people will find me and I'll be fine. And that's what happened.
That's great. That sounds like a great experience. So what was your time like when you were trying to get the loan? Did you got a loan for the practice, or?
I did. That was a nightmare. I thought it was going to take like a month, but it took almost 3 months. And I was just really stressed out that whole time there, you know, and having like guys I would pick up at like outside Home Depot, like, hey, you want to come paint my walls for me? And no, I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
And it took 3 months to get a loan. So with Bank of America, and they have practice loans to, you know, they want to invest in us. They want to invest in us, and they think that like we're going to succeed. So they will give us like special rates for dentists, physicians, and vets usually to start an office.
That's awesome, because, you know, we talked before, you said you didn't kind of canvas and flyer out like you would expect to, you know, opening up a brand new office from scratch. So then what kind of was your marketing strategy? I mean, we know you're very successful on social media, you know, with all of your posting and all that. So what did you take to, you know, kind of put your name out there, put your foot in the door, so to speak?
Yeah, I actually haven't done any marketing at all. Like, I have nothing. Connections, right? So I think that in the beginning it was just my personality, telling my friends to tell their friends. And so like the first day, I remember like the first patient was one of my best friends. The second patient was like a family friend. So it just kind of started trickling down just with people I knew. And I'm about 4 hours away from Vegas, and I have a lot of like college friends and you know, high school friends. And so they would drive down. We started off slow, but this year have done, since COVID, done twice as much as we did last year, which was the first year.
Wow.
Yeah. And we took 2.5 months off.
Are you still doing when you first started, were you doing all the cosmetics and stuff? Like, you just start off?
No, you know, I think with cosmetics, it's really like a show and tell type of, like, people aren't going to come to you and say like, I want your veneers, even though they've never seen you do any. It's almost like it trickles down. So you do one set and then they tell their friends and family. And then someone says, I saw that you did this person's and I want that too. So now it's just building. And it really started building since coronavirus, honestly. Yeah, like, yes, 2 days ago I did 21 units. Today I did 10 units. We closed down for COVID from March 12th to, I think it was like the first week of June. And I had 3 virtual consults like waiting to go. And one girl was from Chicago. And I like just arranged everything. I was like, I'd get on these virtual consults. I become like almost super friendly. I can't help become friendly with my patients. Like, oh, I'm going to tell you which hotel you're going to stay at. These are the great places. You're going to make it a vacation for you and your husband. And so in the month of June, I did, I think it was my record, which was 69 veneers or something like that, or 79.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah. And I will touch on that. You were very friendly. I mean, you're one of the few people that, upon just meeting you, to send me audio messages and, you know, like, explain things. And that's personal touch right there. I mean, You can't get any better than that.
I can't help it. It's easy, it's convenient, and it communicates so much through tone. Like,
Honestly, hearing this, I want to see your clinical skills and everything, but I want to see how you communicate with patients the most. Like just your bedside manner and everything, and how you're all in the room with them. I'm sure it's like very natural.
it's very natural. And then that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys, that although your clinical skills are going to matter, like any one of us could do great veneers with a beautiful ceramist who does amazing, incredible work. But it's really like our personality, our empathy, our compassion, like all of those things is really what matters. So like you could be the best dentist and do the perfect filling, but like if you didn't treat the patient right, or if you didn't catch on to their cues, they might be mad at you. They might think it was horrible and you're terrible. And we could do like a mediocre filling, but you know, I always cater them like GABA green, like smoothies, and I take like a little break, and just all those things, like getting my blanket. And I don't really allow my assistants to do everything. Like I end up being the assistant at the same time, because I'm the one saying like, do you need this? Do you need that? You know? But it is a personality thing. But I think that if you want to become a great dentist, you have to learn communication and empathy. Really.
So I bet, since you said you don't let your assistants do everything, I bet your assistants love you for that. Like they really think they're part of the team, right?
They're spoiled. I'm like, I dare you to go work with someone else. No, I mean, I treat my team like my team. Like we're all in it together. If I'm going to get myself lunch, I get everybody lunch, because it's such a give and take. And like our offices become our homes, and you want the energy, the vibes there to be comfortable. You want to feel good coming to work. You know, you want to feel cozy, and you want everyone to like love you. It's a family. So I think other offices struggle because they don't see their team as their team. They see them as their employees. Mm-hmm. And so
yeah, well, a lot of times, you know, during an acquisition, like some practice owners might acquire staff with the practice, right? Some of them are not, you know, still happy to be there with the new doctor and that stuff. And I guess you got everybody new right off the bat. So how was that hiring everybody? What was that like?
Oh gosh, another intuitive thing. So my main girl, her name is Claudia. Claudia, I hope you listen to this. She actually, I stole her from our last place. So when I quit telling everyone, I didn't take the patients or anything like that, but I told them I needed some time off to heal from grieving. And in reality, I was going to go try to build this. And I told Claudia, don't tell anyone, but like a month before I open, I'm going to need you to quit. And she was so scared. She's like, are you going to have work for me? Like, you don't have any patients. And I'm like, trust me, like, I need your help. And so she quit and came over with me, and it was just us two who started in the beginning. That's it. Just us two. And then I found someone to do insurances, and then I found someone else. And then my main assistant ended up being, well, he was an intern right before COVID, and they stopped his assisting school, but I kept him coming in since, and so now I've like fully trained him. But he was a friend of Claudia's. Like, it's always just people that we know, you know. So I haven't really found any like randoms, like on Indeed or anything.
Like an ad or anything like that.
What?
You didn't put out like an ad or like, you know.
I have, but that hasn't worked out. It's been more like people finding me. Like I remember our first office manager, she found me on Instagram because I posted some surgical videos, and she was a manager at another oral surgeon. And she's like, oh, I really feel like I'd fit in there. Like, let me know if you need help. And I was like, actually, I need an office manager. So she came over. So she found me on Instagram.
Wow. So
yeah.
Even if you find people like from friends or from like work colleagues, do you ever like look for certain qualities that they have, like you said, communication and empathy, or do you just have like a vibe, like your women's intuition or whatever, like just being a professional?
You guys can have the intuition too. Yeah, so it's almost like an unspoken subconscious thing. Like, you know if someone has it or not. You know, you can ask all the proper questions for an interview, but like you already know like if they're gonna fit in and make the cut or not. Like you already know like if they're gonna be team players or not. So you just gotta follow that. You can ask the questions, but anyone can answer interview questions.
You're like they come in for an interview, and you're trying to feel out their vibe. You know, that's really what it is.
Yeah. You fill out their vibe.
All the vibe plugs. I love it. I'm living
Come
for it.
Let's go.
We have a saying in the group. We have a Facebook group as well that's attached to the podcast, and it's for dental students and young docs. And I've said it. I quoted it once, and the guy said, "I think you may have something here." And I said, "Hey, everyone, have a great weekend. As always, a positive vibe is a dental student vibe." And everyone was like, "Ooh, wait a minute."
Woo.
And that's it. That's exactly how we live our life.
Well, as that time that the small is back.
Yeah, it's a dental student vibe to be positive because you have no other choice. Otherwise, you're just gonna cry in the shower.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So, Dr. Vida, let's get into. Well, first, I want to finish our dental student segment. I want to ask you, as is customary, what is one tip that you would give a dental student who is about to graduate dental school right now?
Take risks. Don't be afraid. Like, go with what you want. And don't listen to other people saying like, oh, that's going to be tough or that's going to be hard. So just go for it. Basically, like you've come this far. So if your gut's saying, don't take this job, even though it pays less, go with that. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, definitely.
That's a good. Did you? And also, I'll follow up on this. You said take risks. Did you just go straight for it, or did you do some CE at the same time?
With what?
Just anything. I mean, obviously your flair is cosmetics. That's really kind of what you're strong. Did you take some CE right away?
Yeah, I think that like I would get bored if I wasn't continuously learning. So like even during COVID, like I was like trying to figure out like what could I learn? You know, I joined Spear Academy and I was like watching stuff in quarantine just because there's so much to know. You know, there's just so many aspects of the business of dentistry that like you can never be done. So like, yeah, you take your risks, but do your homework, you know, definitely.
All right, guys, that'll do it for our interview with Dr. Vida. She'll be on again soon to discuss all things cosmetic dentistry, how to, penetrate the field of cosmetic dentistry and really get your name out there for quality veneers. Between getting good lab, word of mouth with patients, how to do marketing for patients, all things that you guys need to hear and need to know in order to succeed and become the top 1%. So, as always, follow us on Instagram at dental.student.vibes. Let us know what you think. If there's anyone that you guys want on or any material you guys want to hear about, we'll find someone for you. But you guys got to DM us and let us know what you think. And, in these crazy times, around the holiday season, let's stay safe and vibe on.